So this is Cheryl again. This is my third vlog, and so I did have a request from a friend on DeviantArt, and she asked me if I could do a drawing while I'm doing my vlog. Well, after multiple takes, I have found out that it takes more than 15 minutes for me to do most of my drawing. So, from practice number 2, I have at least the full, almost full body of her. I started out with a simple triangle for the head, which I did right here, and then I slowly added in the neck, so I stopped right about here. Then I added in the body part, which is right here with the torso, and brought it down and made it into like a little triangle down here, which I stopped at the third head. I have it separated into 7 heads, so she's a pretty tall girl. The first head is up in the first square. And then right about a little bit above the second head, I started working with the torso, brought it down here, then stopped here at the third headline. And that's where the crotch is going to be. And so I did the bust up here at the second line. And then I continued my way down, and I had the kneecaps right about here in the middle of the fifth head. Down. And like a little bit before the seventh head, I'm going to have her wearing heels. I have the ankles right here, right above the last line here on the 7th head. So right now I am currently working on her arms, which right in the middle, right about here where the curve is for the waistline, where usually where some people have their pants sitting, is right where the elbow joint would be. So I have that right there. And now I'm going to start working on fabric and folds, and I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll finish up the rest of her face. The reason why I don't do the face first is because I like to see what kind of outfit I'm going to draw for her or him. I mostly draw females, but sometimes I draw males. So right now I'm thinking that I'm going to do something whimsical and magical. I still have to finish up this drawing for a friend, so that's probably what I'm going to do here. So she said that her character is more down to earth, and we both have characters that are kind of related into a story together. Mine's all like, hey, I'm all frills and fashion and magic and capes and stuff, and hers is kind of more down to earth, kind of low key. So I'm gonna do my best and draw something low key instead of something crazy like I usually do, which you can find most of my art at the website that I'm going to have typed in the information below, so make sure you read that. While I'm drawing this, I would like to discuss about my week. I did turn 21 last week on October 12th with a vlog. Um, I did have a pretty good time. I had a couple of friends and my boyfriend come down to join me for the variety show and to celebrate my birthday with me, which was a very, very nice birthday present. And while the week was by, I decided to make Skittle muffins. I made my Skittle muffins today. I have 3 separate recipes, and they're actually very, very good. The one thing that you need to do when you're making your own kind of cupcake or muffin with a filling is that you take a scoop, you put it into the muffin cupcake wrapper, and you put it in the oven for about 5-6 minutes, so that it's kind of hard but still like kind of squishy. And so you put whatever you're gonna put in your filling on top of it then, and then you put the top on it, and then it will have whatever your little ingredient is on the inside. That would be kind of helpful, but you don't want it to sink down to the bottom, which I have made that mistake plenty of times now. But with Skittles, It's a little bit harder to make because they're made out of pure sugar, and sugar melts easily in heat. And so I'm going to work on them a little bit more and try to get them to actually be like, hey, I'm a Skittle. Crunch into me. Om nom. But that's just me. I'm kind of picky about when it comes to culinary skill or art in general, anything that's kind of I'm very picky about. I have been making a few arm warmers to keep my arms warm during the winter because sometimes there are classes where it's like it's warm enough that I could wear a t-shirt, but sometimes it's a little bit chilly inside, so I want to have something to cover up my arms. And I don't like sleeves. It makes me feel like I'm trapped, which I don't like. I don't like feeling trapped. I'm one of those people who want to be free. I like having my freedom, and I know that one day I'm gonna lose it, but that's okay. I'll find a way to work around it. I always do. Where there's a will, there is a way. And if there's a way, I will find it. So I think that for this girl that I'm gonna draw it very simple, simple yet elegant with a flow to it. So right now I have put kind of like this this line across the shoulders because it's like, okay, I'm gonna do something that's a little bit modest. Most of the stuff that I do is not all that modest. I like to show cleavage. If you got it, flaunt it, as they would say in the producers. If you got it, flaunt it. That's probably one of my favorite movies. It has Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick and Uma Thurman and Will Ferrell in it. And I just think that it's a fun it's a fun movie to watch, but don't watch it if you're easily offended and if you don't have a weird sense of humor. You could easily get offended with this movie, which is probably why I didn't hear about it until during the middle of my high school when people were quoting it and singing along to it, and I was like, "What movie?" And then people were telling me about it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of interesting." I didn't know what to think about it at first. That was my opinion because I was like, I don't get it. But then I started learning more about my heritage, and I'm like, oh, I'm three-fourths German, and I really should learn more about Germany. So I traveled out of country my senior year of high school, and I went to Germany with a bunch of my classmates. Me being the less experienced in German, I still went. And to be honest, I had a great time. I suggest that if you can travel abroad and you go with a school group, it's going to be fun. But if you go and you decide to break the rules for the trip, which I know that a few of them did, I definitely think that you should not drink or do anything like that while you're on these trips. Because you don't need to drink or smoke anything illegal while you're over there because, yeah, you may be legal to do, but come on, seriously, you can have way more fun without it. You don't have to go and drink your whole entire expenses while you're there. Come on, think about it. If you have a whole bunch of booze while you're there, go and do something fun like go to an opera or go to some really, really awesome play that's there or go to this really cool restaurant that people have been talking about. So when you do a trip, don't don't drink. Don't do that unless it's for something extreme, like some extreme fancy occasion, like one of the one of the Führers of Germany invites you to come and have dinner with him. Yeah, it's okay to drink then. Just watch when you drink, where you drink, all that fun stuff. Don't do any underage drinking. That's not cool. You can get arrested for that. But anyway, I'm going to show you what I have so far with my drawing. I have decided to do kind of like this cool cape thing. So it's kind of like starting here. I'll show it a little better. So it starts like here, and then it flows over her shoulder. And so it kind of does like this awesome drape thing with kind of like these folds down here at the bottom. And I don't think I'll give her gloves. I've decided not to do that. Gloves are kind of overrated, and I don't feel like drawing gloves. So I was originally going to have her have this really tight skirt, and then I'm like, nope, she's modest. I gotta remember modest. So I think that I'll put her in a pair of blue jeans and kind of like this long top with a cute little belt. Maybe that will work. Hopefully that'll work. I really don't want to be like chewed out by the original artist when I draw her character, because that would not be a good thing. Um, I hope to see you in part 2. I'll show you the rest of the drawing. And tell you more. Thank you. Bye.